Step 1. Minimize your use of fossil fuels and electricity-consuming devices. Some of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions are the burning of fossil fuels for electricity and the use of fossil fuels in homes and residential areas. All electrical devices within your household and any other fossil fuel consuming machinery, such as a gas heater or a stove, are contributable to this piece of analytical information. However, you can decrease your contribution to it by making sure to minimize use of electrical devices and fossil fuels reliant machinery. This may include devices for leisure, such as watching television, using a computer, charging devices, and more. These and other electrical devices, as they are not necessities, can have limited use to decrease their contribution to the greenhouse gas emissions. However, mandatory use of electricity and fossil fuels, such as heating and lighting, can simply be used sparingly. Only use heating and lighting when the room is occupied or being used, and if possible, refrain from using it if natural lighting and room temperature will suffice. Step 2. Try to convince your parent or caregiver of switching to solar, wind, or hydropower. As seen throughout the website, use of fossil fuels and electricity are the true contributors behind the pluming greenhouse gas emissions that pour out of our homes, factories, and vehicles across the globe. However, the alternative energy source of solar, wind, or hydropower are a fantastic substitute to the two sources of power mentioned earlier. Considering that these renewable energy sources don't use fossil fuels in any way, shape, or form, they are completely environmentally friendly and upon generating electricity produce zero greenhouse gases. For these reasons, it is ideal that majority of the world switches to this energy source to help the world remain healthier and thrive longer. With this in mind, talk to your superior about switching to renewable energy and reiterate the points mentioned here for statistical effect. Step 3. Limit your transportation via automobiles that extrude greenhouse gases. All around us, people are transporting from place to place via a variety of different vehicles, such as cars, trains, planes, boats, and more. However, because these vehicles consume petroleum as they help us travel, they extrude greenhouse gases as they are used and act as a major contributor to the greenhouse gas issue. In order to avoid contributing to this dilemma, a viable solution is to transport via a vehicle that does not consume petroleum or travel within groups to consume less of it per trip. This means that if you need to get from one location to another, it is advised that you ride a bike perhaps or travel with a friend to halve the cost that would arise if you traveled individually. Step 4. Spread the word about the dangers of greenhouse gases and what should be done. In the modern day, social media has become one of the most popular categories of life to historically date, and humans are more reliant on it than ever. While this may seem like a terrible statistic, this can be considered an opportunity as it can be used to spread news and messages. Through social media or verbal indication, young Christians can make a difference by spreading word of the devastating effects that greenhouse gases will bring in the foreseeable future, and with it, reiterate steps 1 to 3. By telling your friends and family about the effects and solutions for greenhouse gases, you will spread the idea of a cleaner future and make a dramatic influence on the issue. Sharing this website or video could also be done to convey the message that greenhouse gases need to be stopped and should not be taken lightly from a religious and analytical point of view. To recap, a young Christian can assist in stopping greenhouse gas emissions by limiting his or her use of electrical and fossil fuel consuming devices, convincing their superior to switch to solar, wind, or hydropower for cleaner electricity generation, riding automobiles in groups or taking a healthy alternative such as riding a bike, or spreading the message of greenhouse gases, effect, and solutions to others through social media and/or verbal indication. By following these steps, you are on your way to saving one of God's most beautiful creations known to man, and your sacrifices and efforts are appreciated greatly. Thank you for listening and watching.